Hi, it's Lucy Pilates. We're doing a mixed ability Pilates class for the next hour. I hope you're all okay, staying safe, and let's get you moving. So, quick disclaimer just to make sure that you're exercising safely and responsibly. Don't do this exercise if you have any illnesses. If you're being treated for anything and you have to take medication and it's not controlled, then you're better off not exercising at the moment in the present circumstances. So work at the level that works for you. If you feel any discomfort, you feel sick, you feel dizzy, then please stop. Make sure that you have a phone nearby you if you happen to be exercising on your own, so that you can contact someone if you need to. And I think that's it really. So let's get started. I hope you're all keeping well. So we'll start with feet together, and we're going to turn those toes out like a ballerina, followed by your heels. And we should find that your feet are parallel, hip distance apart. And we're gently going to roll onto the balls of the feet. So now I want you just to think about your breathing. So we're breathing in through the nose for a count of 4, out through the mouth for a count of 4. So nice and relaxed. Take the time to connect your mind and your body so that you're aware of the movements that you're making and you're doing them thoughtfully. Let's take the weight over onto one side, back over onto the other. So just shifting that weight from one side to the other. One more time. And we are going to come back to the middle where the weight is even on both your feet. Press down the big toe, the little toe, and the heel. You should feel a little lift through the arches of the feet. We're going to keep those knees soft, and we'll do some pelvic tilt. So we're going to find that neutral spine. So keeping the spine nice and stable through the crown of the head. You can place your hand on your mid-back just to make sure that you're not tipping forwards or leaning back. So the movement comes through the pelvis and the hips and the lower back. So we all have varying ranges of movement. Let's find that middle point now. So that should give us a nice neutral pelvis, neutral spine. So let's grow nice and tall now out of the crown of the head. So really float the head up towards the ceiling. We're keeping that chin parallel to the floor with a little bit of a chin tuck. When I say chin tuck, I want you to keep your chin going along a train track, an imaginary train track, so that you just draw it back and you can feel that you're getting that length down the back of the neck. So we keep the shoulders down. First of all, we're going to draw them up towards your ears, press them behind, and then we're going to draw them down towards your heels. And keep that connection through the shoulders there as you're drawing the shoulder blades, as if you're trying to slide those shoulder blades into imaginary jeans pockets. So pulling up that pelvic floor, about 30%, so gently drawing it up. We're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, pull in through the tummy. So you are trying to draw your tummy back. It's as if someone has got a button and thread and they've pushed it through and they're pulling it from the outside. So nice breath in. Exhale. They're pulling that belly button towards your spine. And you might want to try and tuck it up under your ribs. So you feel that engagement here through the lower belly. That is your core, your powerhouse. So I'll be referring to that, talking about being centered. All those things refer to the same thing. So we breathe in, pull up the pelvic floor, exhale, pull in through the tummy. Let's practice our Pilates breathing, lateral breathing. So we're going to breathe into the side of the rib cage now while we're holding that nice strong center. So breathing in for a count of 4 through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, pulling in through the tummy, drawing up that pelvic floor. Let's take a few more breaths. Nice calming breaths. Just help you connect your mind and the body. Close your eyes. Will help you concentrate maybe on the feelings of the breath going into the side of the rib cage, not up here. So we're not breathing. We're going to try and use deep breaths. Last one. Let's bring those hands down by the side. We're going to mobilize the body next. So stay nice and strong through the center. It's a breath in. And as you exhale, we just look over one shoulder. So we're just going to mobilize through the neck. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, looking over the other shoulder. So we're nice and stable through the rest of the body, thinking about the posture. Our shoulders are down and back. Let's do one more. So that we've done the same on both sides. And we change it to an ear to shoulder next. So just draw down with the opposite arm back to the center and exhale, draw down towards the heels. Let's do one more on each side. And back to the center. So we'll mobilize through the shoulders next. So shoulder rolls. Just going to have a look in here. Lovely. I've got 3 people watching. Hello to you. Hope you're all right. I don't know who you are. Say hi if you want in the comments box, I think. Afterwards, obviously. And let's change direction. You can also do elbow circles if you want a little bit more range of movement through the shoulders there. Last couple. Lovely. Let's bring those hands down by the side. So your hips stay fixed facing the front here. And it's a breath in. As you exhale, we pull in through the tummy and draw yourself around. Anybody with osteoporosis or any brittle bones where you can sometimes get fractures through this area, we are going to keep that movement. Any rotational movements are going to be minimal. Same as forward bending. Any forward bending, you're going to keep that. You're not going to do the forward bending, basically. So we'll try to modify all the exercises for you so it's safe. Let's free that movement up, become like a spiral from your toes up to the top of your head. Last one, let's come back to the center. Line up those feet, knees and hips, nice pulling through the tummy. Breath in as you exhale. We'll just do a little side bend. Back to the center. And again, it's about length through the spine as we bend. We're not just crunching down through the spine. Pilates is all about lengthening through the spine. So let's bring that arm up. So we reach up and then bend. Reach up and bend. And again, any osteoporosis, you're going to be doing this much smaller range of movement. Back to the center. So we're going to stabilize through the torso now while we mobilize through the hip joint. So keeping those hips level, make sure you've got enough room around you. We can do these circles. So you can either have your toe, your leg bent and your toe attached to the floor, just mobilizing through that hip joint. We can do it with a straight leg. Stay nice and tall through the spine. Think about the shoulders are back and down. Let's change the direction. Use the breath to help you stabilize. So we're pulling up through the pelvic floor and we're pulling in through the tummy. Last one. And let's leave that foot out behind. Keep those hips nice and square as you tip forwards. It's a good squeeze through the bottom and pulling in through the tummy as you lift and tap. I'll go sideways. So we're squeezing here. The lift comes from the hip. So we don't want to be tipping forwards as we do this. And you can keep that leg hovered and pulse it. There's another option. You feel that work happening here in the glutes. Then we bring that knee to the front, rotate the ankle one way, back around the other, and then we can lower down. We'll do the same on the other side. So again, thinking about the Pilates box, we can do toe onto the floor or extend that leg. So again, choose the level that works for you. We're all different. We all want to improve. So we must do it gradually and safely. So I'm trying to keep my rib cage nice and soft as I draw that leg around. Let's change direction. And we'll do one more. Leave that foot out behind, tipping forward so we have that straight diagonal line, and it's a good squeeze through the bottom, pulling in through the tummy as we send that leg out behind and lift and tap. We'll keep that leg hovered and we can pulse it. And then bringing the knee to the front, we rotate the ankle one way and back around the other. Lowering down. We can do a balance next. So I think we'll do, we'll go into a star. So let's start by drawing up one knee. Make sure you've got lots of room around you. Use the wall if you need to, or a chair. You can have a chair and hold on to the chair back. It just helps you a little bit if you're super wobbly. Let's lower that foot onto the shin, or you can have your toe onto the floor. And then we open up through the hip. We'll have a few breaths here. It's a nice breath in. Lifting those arms up towards the ceiling. Now really stretch up tall through the waist. Keep that height at the waist as we lower through the shoulder girdle, and then we're going to go into a star. So we'll start by straightening up that bent leg and reaching the opposite arm away. And then it's a nice pull up and pull in, so we're nice and strong through the center as we open into a star. Keep your torso and that leg lined up as you tip over to the side, challenging the balance. Stay nice and strong through the center, lengthen through the limbs. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, and we can lower down. Well done. We'll do the same on the other side. So again, just making sure you've got that room around you, and we draw up the knee. Might find that that supporting ankle is quite wobbly. That's fine. We're building up strength. So nice pull up and pull in. Keep those shoulders back and down. Stay nice and tall. Thinking about our Pilates breathing. So we're breathing wide into the side of the rib cage. Then let's take that foot onto the shin or the toe onto the floor and open up through that hip again. And we'll have a few breaths here. Nice breath in. Lifting those arms up towards the ceiling, stretching up through the waist. And then we keep elevated through the spine as we just lower the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Right, let's start by straightening up the bent leg, reaching the opposite arm away, nice and strong through the center. And again, as we tip, think about that line between the leg and the torso, staying nice and straight, challenging that balance as we tip. Keep breathing, keep lengthening and releasing off. Well done. We're going to come onto the mat now and do our roll downs. So there we go, standing at the end of your mat, thinking about your Pilates posture. So we're going to feet, knees and hips are lined up. Imagine that you're pulling on your jeans that are a little bit too tight and you zip up those jeans, pulling in, pulling up through the core, shoulders are back and down. It's a breath in. So if you have osteoporosis or any of the other conditions, then there's no forward flexion for you. So just come down onto the mat and we'll all get there in the end. Breath in, and we start to tuck the chin, round through the vertebrae, pulling in through the tummy as you roll down through the vertebrae one at a time. So imagine I've got an electric fence here and I'm trying to reach over the electric fence but not touch it with my tummy. So keep those knees soft, round down through the vertebrae. A few breaths before we start restacking. So building up the spine as if they are little children's building blocks, stacking back up one by one. Shoulders back and down at the end, nice and tall. Breath in, ready to go again. So breathing pattern, just keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Knees stay soft. Arms hang nice and relaxed and heavy, or you can walk your fingers down your legs. Breath in. Exhale. Restacking.
Here's your news. From LBC.
Oh, Alexa, be quiet. And restacking again. God, if it's not the cats, it's my Alexa. So rounding down through the vertebrae, nice mobility through the spine, keep pulling up and pulling in. And when we're at the bottom of this one, we're just going to stay here for a little bit. Let those arms hang really nice and heavy. And if you need to hold on to your elbows because your hands are on the mat, then do that. Because we want the weight of the arms to draw the shoulders into a nice bit of space in the joints there. So just swing those arms about. Not the upper body, just the arms. Try and get some movement and some space. And then we can nod the head as if you're saying yes, and you can shake the head as if you're saying no. You might hear all kinds of pops as you do this, but that's okay. Then we're going to walk forwards down onto the mat, and we are going to come into a 4-point kneeling position. We've got some swimming today. So hands and knees. Make sure you've got space out behind you to extend your legs. Wrists want to be directly underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips, and your legs, the calves, nice and parallel. So we've got options with the hands. If this is painful because you have because it's too much on your wrist, you can roll the mat up and elevate the heels of your hands a little bit higher than the fingertips is one option. Another option is to come onto your knuckles so that your wrists are straight, and again draw those shoulders back. Another option is to come down onto your elbows instead. It slightly limits you what you can do in that position, obviously, but better to do something than nothing. So let's come back to all fours if that's how you want to do this. Wrists under your shoulders, Just turn those elbows to sort of face. I always think of these as like if you painted a couple of eyes on the inside of your elbows, just turn them to look at each other so that you've got shoulders down and back, nice pull in through the tummy, and a neutral spine. So don't feel if you're sagging in the middle or rounding through the spine. Maybe do a couple of those movements and then find the middle point. And that should be a nice neutral spine, shoulders back and down. It's a breath in. As you exhale, pull up, pull in, and just slide your toe along the floor. Keep it connected with the mat to start with. Inhale to return that knee. We're going to alternate. Exhale, pull up, pull in, and lengthen that leg behind you. So think about stability of the pelvis. So as we lengthen one leg out behind, the pelvis, using your core, your center, you're going to keep the pelvis level so you don't drop or twist. So it's a simple toe along the floor, and then we can add a lift. So we extend as far as we can and then lift. Trying to keep the spine in neutral, lower and return. So little movement through the pelvis and shoulders and the spine as possible. Exhale. Remember, you exhale to exert. Let's add in the opposite arm. Try to keep any twisting under control. Think about having a tray of drinks on your back. Exhale to extend along the floor. Then we lift, lengthen through the limbs, lower, return. Same on the other side. Be aware of any movement through the hips, trying to minimize. Last one on each side. Think about lengthening those limbs, keeping the spine in neutral. Back to the center. Perfect. So coming back onto your heels, and we'll come down onto a seated position now. So we're going to do some rollbacks. So if you have the osteoporosis, you're not going to do the rollback, you're going to do a hinge. So sitting nice and tall, this is for those who can't do the forward curling movement. Arms can be parallel to your legs, shoulders back and down, nice and tall, pulling it in through the tummy, draw up, draw in. And you keep the spine in neutral as you hinge back on an exhale. Hold it as you inhale. Next exhale, we can lift one arm overhead, lengthen. Exhale to lift the other arm. And then it's a breath in. Draw yourself back up. So that is option one if you have osteoporosis. Option two, we're going to make that C shape through the spine. So we tuck the bottom under. We make a C shape through the spine, curling back, so that we're trying to lay these vertebrae onto the mat first. It's a breath in. Exhale, drawing yourself back up to that nice neutral. So let's do another half roll back in that C shape. Shoulders are back and down. Think about length through the crown of the head. We're not just tucking the chin onto the chest. Inhale, exhale. You might want to have your little belt around the feet. might help you somewhat. Just to give you a little bit of support to come back up. We're going to move on to full rollbacks. So nice and tall in your neutral, good pull in through the tummy. Exhale, we pull in, we tuck the bottom under, make that C shape through the spine. And then we're going to try and get your spine down onto the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Your arms are going to come over, swoop them down, reach towards your heels. Let's move these out of the way. And then we start by tucking the chin to lift the back of the head, pulling in through the tummy, reach down towards your heels as you peel your spine back up. One vertebrae at a time, nice and tall and neutral at the end. Breath in, ready to go again. So we'll do 5 or 6 of these, nice and slowly. You might be doing half rollbacks to build up your strength. If you struggle to come up in a nice smooth movement, there's no point in coming up like this, because that's not going to be working the right muscles. So reaching down towards your heels, peeling the spine back up, nice and neutral. Using the breath to help you. Exhale as you roll down slowly, slowly. One vertebrae at a time, coming down onto the mat. Swoop those arms back and round. We tuck the chin to lift the back of the head, lift the back of the shoulders, and then peel. Nice and smoothly. Coming up back to neutral. Last few. So one of these, executed nice and slowly, is probably the same as doing about 7 crunchies. So if we're doing 6 or 7 of these in nice form, we're doing about 50 crunchies. It's all right, isn't it? So exhale, we make that C shape. So we lay the vertebrae down. So again, we're working on that mobility of the spine, strength of the abdominals. As you controlled, you lay the spine down with control. And we're still lengthening through the spine, even as we are coming back up. So as we lower, it's still lengthening, because you're drawing your shoulders back and down, lengthening through the crown of the head. Keep the rib cage neutral as those arms come up and over. Then you reach down towards your heels, drawing yourself back up. Let's do last couple. So I've shown you those variations with the full roll down. If you're not ready for the full roll down, just do those half roll downs. We're going to make this the last one. And we're going to stay down on the mat now. Excellent. Let's bend those knees so the feet are flat on the floor. Knees are bent, hip distance apart. We will do a shoulder bridge first. So feet come a little bit closer to the bottom. Nice pull up and pull in. Thinking about drawing those shoulders down away from your ears. Tuck that chin so we get the length down the back of the neck. Hands resting down by your side. So it's a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to peel the spine away from the mat. Osteoporosis, you're just going to lift through the hips. Keep the spine in neutral. Heels pressing down. Squeezing through the bottom. Thinking about that rib cage lining up with the front of the hips. So try to soften Rather than arching the back, you are keeping it in neutral. So let's start with some heel lifts. So we lift one heel, keep the toe on the floor, and then lift the other heel. You can place your fingertips on your hip bones just to have a little bit of feedback. We don't want, as we're doing the heel lifts, we don't want to be lifting and lowering through the hips. The hips stay nice and stable. So nice pull in through the tummy as we do our heel lifts. That's option 1. Now option 2 is marching feet. So this one is going to be a challenge to your coordination. So have a look at my feet. I'm lifting the toe and lifting the heel of the other foot. So the toe of one foot, the heel of the other foot lift, and then we swap so that those feet are marching. I find this quite challenging actually because I have tight Achilles, I think, so I struggle to lift my toe off. Marching through those feet, staying nice and strong through the center so that your pelvis stays stable. Option 3 is going to be a breath in. As you exhale, I want you to just straighten one leg so the knees stay level. Inhale back. Just straighten that leg and point and lengthen that leg. Try to keep the hips nice and level. Breath in, exhale as you pull in through the tummy. Remember that dimmer switch of the core. So you are really ramping up that engagement as you exhale and lengthen one leg away. Try not to lower through the hips. So we've got heel lifts, we've got marching feet, and we've got leg extensions. Last couple. Remember to exhale as you extend. Inhale to return. Exhale to extend. Inhale to return. Last one. And we're gently going to return the spine down onto the mat. Lengthen out those legs. We'll reach the arms overhead. Just have a little stretch. Then we're just going to bring those knees in. And lower. So we're going to do the 100 next. So with the 100, if you want to have the towel underneath the back of your head to help you line up your spine, if you find that your chin has a habit of floating up towards the ceiling, this is going to help you get a better alignment. So we want to tuck that chin. So let's make sure we've got that neutral spine. So make a diamond shape with the hands. Place the thumbs underneath your belly button and the rest of your hands are going to fall and just float over your lower belly. So imagine you've got a diamond, a marble in the middle of that diamond, and you're going to roll that marble down towards your thumbs. So you're just pressing your back into the mat. And then we roll the marble down towards the fingertips. So the back is going to arch away. So just keep rolling that marble north and south. And then we want to find the middle point where the marble is just sitting nice and still in the middle of the diamond. So we've got that little gap under the lower back, enough to get a flat hand in. And we're going to take a breath in. As we do the 100, we've got 100 arm beats. So nice long fingertips reaching down towards your heels. And the movement comes from the shoulder. So no flappy elbows, no flappy wrists. So nice long, strong arms as if you are bouncing a beach ball beside you. We do 5 beats while you breathe in through the nose. And then you turn the palms to face the ceiling and do 5 beats while you exhale through the mouth. So that's the arms. Nice pull up and pull in to keep you nice and stable. Your leg options. Option 1 is to have one leg in tabletop while we do the 100. And then when I say halfway, you're going to change to the other leg. Option 2 is to have both legs in tabletop, more challenging to keep that neutral spine. So we do our arm beats with the legs in tabletop. Option 3 is to have one leg extended and one in tabletop. Nice long leg. Halfway through, you will change over. And option 3 is to have both legs extended while we do the 100 arm beats. So have a think, what level do you want to work at today? Take a breath in. Bring your legs into the position of choice. I'll do tabletop. I'll do one leg extended actually. So we're going to breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Bring those knees in. Have a little hug. And then we can straighten out. Do a nice full body stretch. Excellent. Now we're going to do another shoulder bridge, and we'll do the shoulder bridge with some arm weights. If you want to use your arm weights, we've got cans, or you might have like proper hand weights. Not very heavy. These are just 400 grams, so half a kilo, isn't it? Roughly half a kilo weight. Just have them so that you can reach them when you need to. I feel like I'm not centered on my mat. All right, here we go. So feet close to the bottom. We get rid of the towel. If you happen to have a towel or a block underneath the head, always get rid of that for the shoulder bridge. So feet closer to your bottom again. Make sure you've got enough room around you. So you might want to shuffle down your mat. We're not doing the legs, so it's more important to have that room around you to do something with the arms. So feet closer to the bottom. Nice pull up and pull in. Hands down by your side. Reach those shoulders away from your ears and tuck the chin. And we start to peel the spine away from the mat, coming up into our shoulder bridge again. So as we press down through those heels, you can feel you get more of a firing up through the glutes. That's going to keep you nice and straight through your shoulder bridge, softening those ribs so the spine is neutral. Let's grab those weights if you want to use them. You don't have to. And we'll bring the arms up towards the ceiling. So just make sure you've got that nice long neck. And I want you to feel the back of the head, the back of your shoulders and your heels are all pressing down onto the mat. And we're reaching those arms up towards the ceiling. So it's a breath in. As you exhale, just reach the hands further up towards the ceiling so that you are gently trying to lift the shoulder blades, the back of the shoulders away from the mat. And then we lower as you inhale. So just working with the breath. Exhale. trying to lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling, and then we lower to press them into the mat. Keep this nice and smooth, the movement, so we are not clonking or juddering. So it's smooth, flowing, reaching up, and then we press them back down. Keep the elbows straight. So we're just opening across the back of the shoulders, and then we are pressing those shoulders back into the mat. Very small movement. Keep working with the breath. Keep the rib cage soft. Think about pressing down through the heels of your feet to get that nice fired up glutes. Last couple. And now we're going to do a sort of clock. So I want you to bring your arms overhead to 12 o'clock. And then we bring them back up to the ceiling. Your shoulders are pressing down into the mat now. And then we're going to go to bring the arms to 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Inhale, back to the center. And then we've got 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And back to the center. 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock. 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. And 6 o'clock. Coming back up. Let's do that. This time we're going to do 12 o'clock and we'll do both arms. Now we're going to do, this is challenging, 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock. 4 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. 4 o'clock and 11 o'clock. I'm making it up now. But you get what I'm doing. Over to 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And let's do 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock again. Up to the front, and then let's return your spine down onto the mat. Might need to work on that one a bit. What I need to do is put it on the ceiling. Okay, hug those knees in again. So we've got nice one for mobility through the spine. Coming onto your side, we're going to do some open book. So this is really nice to mobilize the spine. We'll use, what could we use? Maybe a pillow might be better here than the towel. But what you want is something that you can rest your head on and it's a little bit larger. So maybe a cushion would work. And you're going to bring yourself onto the very front edge of that cushion. Both arms are going to come in front of you. Knees are bent at 90 degrees. And we're going to think about those knees now staying glued onto the mat. Keep the shoulders down and back. Keep nice and strong through the center as ever. Just a little, if I were thinking about that dimmer switch, it's just gently switching on through the center. And we start by reaching forwards with that top arm. And as you do that, it's going to start to open. So if you have osteoporosis, again, we're just going to maybe bring the arm up to point at the ceiling. So there's a very small rotation. Otherwise, we're going to keep watching that hand as we open up like a book. And try to bring that arm lengthening away from you down towards the floor. So depending on how flexible you are, how mobile you are, you may or may not reach the floor. And then we come back, we close the book. As you are opening and closing the book, think about lengthening and coming up out of the joint so that the arm is really as if you're trying to reach towards the ceiling and paint the ceiling as you open up. So we want to feel nice and open across the chest, mobile through the spine. The knees stay on the mat. When you're in your open position, you might want to take a few breaths and relax into that nice open feeling. And then we close the book. And again, we're trying to brush the ceiling, so we're lengthening that limb away. Let's do one more. Nice and slow. So we're rotating through the spine. Around the waist, through the shoulders. Knees stay together on the mat. And we all work to our own range of movements. Let's close that book up. Perfect. Let's straighten up now. We're going to do some torpedo and some leg circles. So we can come back to the back edge of the mat. Nice straight line through the body. Use the back edge of the mat to line yourself up. Knees, hips, shoulders on top of each other. Straight arm underneath. Use the towel between your ear and your shoulder to get that nice alignment of the neck. Little gap under the lower waist as you stay nice and strong now through the center. Top arm to support you. It's a breath in. As you exhale, send those legs away, those feet away, and they're going to lift all by themselves. Keep that little gap under your lower waist as you hold it to inhale, exhale to lower. Inhale, ready to go again. So we can lay that top arm across the body. It's more challenging for stability. If you're too wobbly, just keep the hand in front. Think about the shoulder, keep it back so that it is not rolling forwards. Try to be aware if you're rolling back on your hips. So you want to stay hips on top of each other. Exhale to lower. Inhale at the bottom. As you exhale, send those feet away. Nice long limbs, good pull in through the tummy. Relax through the shoulders. So use the breath to help you. Inhale while you hold it. Exhale to lower. Last couple, and we'll add in a rainbow arm. So it's an exhale. We send those legs away. Hold it while you inhale. On the next exhale, nice and strong through the center as you bring that arm up and over. And then we lengthen and then lower all down to the floor, to the mat. Breath in. Exhale. We send those feet away. Now pause while you inhale. Exhale. We bring the arm up and over like a rainbow. We lengthen. Exhale to lower. Last two. Inhale, exhale. Send those feet away. Hold it while you inhale. Exhale. Arm comes up and over. And we want to lengthen. And exhale to lower. Last one. Breath in. Exhale. We send those feet away. Hold it. Exhale. Paint a rainbow. Stretch. And exhale to lower. Perfect. Let's bring those feet now to the front edge of the mat. We can bend that lower leg. Top leg comes to hip height. Nice pull up and pull in. Keep those hips stacked on top of each other. Top arm to support you. And we'll do some leg circles. So half a circle while you breathe in and half a circle while you breathe out. So it's nice and slow. Keep the hips nice and stable and the spine is neutral. So use the core, especially as that leg comes forward, to keep your pelvis stable. And that leg wants to be really lengthening away. Draw the leg behind you so that you're using the glutes and you're not shortening the gap between your rib and your hip. So try to keep that gap nice and stable so you're not squidging up. Reduce the size of your circle. If you find that you are really crunching up, the body to do those circles, make the circle smaller. Let's change direction. So lengthen that leg away. Keep the gap between your ribs and your hips nice and lengthened. And slow down the movement. The slower you go, the harder it is. Last couple. Last one. Perfect. Let us change ends of the mat. We can do the other side. And again, this time we're going to use the cushion, if that's what you have. And we bring ourselves onto the front edge of that cushion. Oh, that's a bit weird. Knees together. Knees are bent. Bring that top arm, both arms rather, out in front. Breath in. So we just gently switch on the core as we reach forwards with that top arm, reaching away, lengthening that arm. Keep an eye on it as you try to brush the ceiling. Keep the knees glued onto the mat, and we open up as near to the floor as we can get it. Couple of breaths, and then we start closing that book, reaching up to the ceiling as we lengthen that limb, coming back. Breath in, lengthen the top arm as it starts to lift, and then we open again into our open book. Breathing, we're just breathing nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep those knees on the mat. Relax into that nice open position. And then we're going to start closing the book again. It's a lovely exercise for mobility of the spine. If you have osteoporosis, you're just going to be going as far as the ceiling. By that, I mean, as you open your book, you'll stop here. Otherwise, we'll open all the way. Relax in that open position. And then we close. Lovely. Let's straighten up for our torpedo. So we will use the towel instead of the cushion. Nice straight line through the body. Oh, legs are lengthening out. Towel between your shoulder and your ear. Nice straight line through the body. Little gap under that lower waist so that you could post a letter through. And we're going to stay nice and active there. So good pull in through the tummy, drawing up the pelvic floor. Top arm to support you to start with. It's a breath in. And as you exhale, you send those feet away. They lift by themselves. We keep active here through the waist. Hold it as you inhale. Exhale to lower. Breath in, ready to go again. So think about lengthening those legs. So straighten and lengthen. And then you lower. Ready to go again. Exhale. Nice pull in here. You can stay nice and relaxed through the shoulders here because all the work is coming from your powerhouse. And lower. And again, we've got the option to lay that top arm across the body. It's going to be more of a challenge to stay balanced. Nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's paint a rainbow as another option. So exhale, we lift and lengthen. Then we pause while we inhale. On the next exhale, pull up, pull in, and paint a rainbow. Then we lengthen, and then we lower. Breath in, ready to go again. And exhale, send those feet away. Keep pulling in here nice and tight through the center, nice and strong. And we paint a rainbow on the next exhale. Lengthen and exhale to lower. Keep your arms nice and long and strong. Pause while you inhale and exhale. Reaching up, try to brush your hands on the ceiling. Lengthen and exhale to lower. Last two. Exhale, we lift and lengthen. Hold it while you inhale, and then we come up and over like a rainbow. And lengthen and lower. Last one. Breath in, exhale, we send those feet away. They lift all by themselves. Then you hold it while you inhale. Exhale, arm comes up and over. Then we lengthen and exhale to lower. Lovely. Bring that top hand in front of you to support yourself. Bring the feet to the front corner of the mat. We bend that lower leg, lift that top leg to hip height. And again, it's all about length through that leg. Keep the hips nice and stable. And we'll do our circles. So just make those circles as large as you're able to keep your hips nice and stable and the spine neutral. So nice and slow. Half a circle while you breathe in, half a circle while you breathe out. Let's do a couple more and then we'll change the direction. Try to relax through the upper body. Think about turning on that strong center. Let's change the direction. Long limb lengthening away. Stable pelvis. Neutral spine. Last one. Oh no, one more. Why not? Lovely. I think that feels about balanced. Let's bring those knees in. We're going to move on to our front lying exercise. And we'll do some swan dive, I think. So, lying on your front, we've got the block underneath the forehead. So just to stop you from squashing your face into the mat so that you can relax. So arms are going to be 90 degrees at the shoulders, 90 degrees at the elbow. So it's as if you're making a capital E shape with your head in the middle there. Bring the heels together and then just let the heels fall out to the side so that your legs are nice and relaxed. And we're going to draw the pelvic floor up, pull the belly button in towards the spine, take a breath in as you exhale, turn on the center and lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. Keep your forearms on the mat to start with. So nice pull up and pull in. Hold it as you inhale, exhale to lower. So again, nice and slow. Inhale, exhale, we engage through the center as we lengthen through the crown of the head. You shouldn't feel any pressure here in your lower back. If you do, you are either not engaging deep enough with the core or you are lifting too high. It's not about lift, it's about length. So breath in, exhale, turn on the center, lengthen through the crown of the head. Hold it as you inhale, exhale to lower. And we can add in the weight of the arms next. So as you breathe in, exhale, turn on the center as we lift and lengthen through the crown of the head, and the arms are going to come up too. Hold it as you inhale, exhale to lower. So again, it's not about how high you're coming up. It's about how long can you make your spine. Breath in, exhale, lift and lengthen. Keep looking down at the mat so we're not lifting through the chin. And we can add in another layer. So you can carry on at this level or take a breath in. As you exhale, extend those arms overhead. Inhale, draw them back and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale to lower. Ready to go again. Exhale. We lengthen through the crown of the head. Hold it while you inhale. Exhale, extend those arms. Inhale, draw them back and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale to lower. So length through the crown of the head. Don't come up too high. We don't want to have any discomfort in the lower back. So just keep working with the breath. Exhale, extend. Inhale, draw the arms back. Exhale to lower. Inhale, exhale. We lift and lengthen. Hold it while you inhale. Exhale to extend. Inhale, draw them back. Exhale, we lower. Last couple. Stay nice and strong in the center. Protect your lower back. Last one. Perfect. So let's very gently come up onto all fours. And we're going to gently press the mat away from you as you come up into your angry cat. So we're arching the spine, tuck the bottom under, try to make a big O shape with the body as you let your head hang between your arms. And then we'll come into our cow position. So lift the tail, drop the belly, keep the shoulders back away from your ears, keep looking down at the mat. Back into our angry cat. So drop the head, tuck the bottom under, lift your belly up towards the ceiling. Then we're going to lower the belly, lift the tail, keep the shoulders back and down, look down at the mat, into our cow. Let's find a neutral spine, and then we can walk those hands round to one side. And then we're going to walk those hands all the way around to the other side. Let's come back to the middle. We'll do thread the needle. So draw that arm across the body, lower the shoulder and just reach through the gap. Let's come back to the center. Same on the other side. Back to the middle. Open up the knees, keep the toes together, reach those hands forward, and then just sink back. Send your tail to the other side of the room. Let's come back up onto all fours. We're just going to do one last roll up to standing. So pop those toes under, walk the hands back, and we're going to straighten up one vertebrae at a time. Coming back up to standing. It's a nice big breath, reaching up towards the ceiling as you press your hips forward. And then release off. Give yourselves a clap. Well done. Thank you very much. Tomorrow is going to be a beginner's session again, but on Wednesday I'll do another mixed ability. So thanks ever so much. I hope you're keeping well. Catch you soon. Bye.